Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network. For the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews, press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Guilty Movie Pleasures. In-depth discussion on movies, no matter how guilty they make you feel.
There's our transition in.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Yep. Thanks, Steve. Guys, welcome to Guilty Movie Pleasures. I am your host, Josh Macuga. Joining me today in the co-host seat, my good buddy, Thadd Williams. You guys might not know him, but you know I say his name in every episode of Between the Sheets. He is my producer, director, editor of Between the Sheets. He makes the episodes look beautiful every week. And this was your recommendation, was Three Men and a Baby was today. So welcome to the show.
Yes, it was. I'm glad to be here. Ben is off shooting Three Loves and a Begley, I believe.
Thanks for taking that joke and running with it. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He's got a commercial.
Miss you, Ben.
A commercial promo for Three Hugs and a Lover.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm sure he's not listening, but he will in the future. So Ben, we miss you. We'll see you maybe not next week, but the week after.
All right.
But this movie starts off with this Miami Sound Machine classic.
Can we kill the Miami Sound? That's awful. That is just absolutely terrible.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
It just has that. Come on.
Hey! You know what's great about this montage is that it's this happy, peppy song, and the whole montage is about them just slaying every single woman in New York.
At no point in the montage do they do anything redeemable.
No.
But just kick women to the curb in elevators. There's at one point one girl punches dancing.
A really bad. It's like
he collapses. In good prop falls. But and then basically the whole montage of the opening part of the movie is Gutenberg painting a mural.
Yes, an epic mural. Epic mural.
I believe you guys can get it airbrushed on a T-shirt at your local mall. If you really look into
But
it.
don't do it in your apartment because you will lose the security deposit without a doubt.
What's that the first thing I thought of? I was like, when they move out of this apartment, they're going to have to paint over this mural.
That's because you've destroyed your apartment.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're never getting your security.
Never moving either.
No.
But this, I keep thinking, because the first time I saw this was not, it was 87, so I was 5 years old, so we definitely didn't see it in the theater.
No.
I remember this.
No.
This movie was huge in my family. We loved this movie. Three Men and a Little Lady, I think we actually went to see as a family years later.
I was trying to remember today if I've seen the sequel, and maybe I did at one point or another, but it does not ring a bell at all. This was an HBO movie for me. It was on all the time.
Right.
Whenever it was on, it's like, oh yeah, Three Men and a Baby. Sure, because you've got Sell It, you've got Magnum PI, it's
Mayday Malone.
Yeah, Sam Malone, and whatever the hell his name is from Police Academy. What was his character name
in Police Academy? I was just watching it.
I meant to write it down. Mahoney. All right. Yeah.
So you have the three of the greatest actors in the 80s.
Yeah,
these sex
height
symbols
of their game.
Right? Selleck, Danson, Gutenberg. Today that's like Pitt, Clooney. Who's the other guy? Damon. Pitt, Clooney, Damon was Selleck. Good. And the Gutenberg, I like to think it maybe a law of the 80s was if Gutenberg was in your movie, it was guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Would you consider Cocoon a guilty pleasure? Because I feel like that's just a great movie. It's a good movie. Police Academy's obviously.
Yeah. But is Gutenberg like the driving vehicle of Cocoon?
I would say the Cocoon would be the driving vehicle of Cocoon.
I was going to say Jessica Tandy would be the driving vehicle of Cocoon.
Yeah.
But he does keep...
Or the guy from Trading Places.
Yeah, what was their names in Trading Places? Waldorf and Rocksteady?
Yeah, Duke and Duke.
Mortimer, thank you, Stephen. But let's get into it. So we like to do the plot in under 5 minutes, but I feel like we could do this in under 3.
Under 3? We're saying 3 minutes?
Should we try and do under 3? We got 30 seconds to the 5-minute mark on our counter that nobody knows what we're looking at. So we have 25 more seconds to talk. Do you know the legend of Gutenberg? Do you know how he got into movies?
I assume he has naked photos of someone somewhere.
No, he moved into an office in Paramount and told nobody, and just started showing up at meetings and casting sessions.
Like he rented out an office? Mm-hmm. You can do that?
No, he just snuck into one and like basically like overnight he snuck into Paramount, made an officer who was like,
that sounds like a movie. That sounds like a Steve Guttenberg movie.
I know. And in 2, 1, boom, starts. Here we go. Yeah,
yes.
Let's play it. Starts off, like we said, they're painting a mural. We know that it's 3 single swinging dick bachelors in some sick New York apartment. One we find out is an architect. One is an actor. The other one makes murals.
He's a cartoonist.
Oh, cartoonist.
He's a
correct.
cartoonist, which is the 3 classic Hollywood stereotypical jobs that give you shitloads of money and tons of free time and no responsibilities on a regular schedule.
Absolutely.
Which is perfect for when you're slaying every woman in New York City.
One after the other. Each haircut is better than the next. It cuts to like they're there in this like $40 million apartment in New York that 3 swinging dick bachelors
an entire penthouse apartment that the architect apparently either built or created for himself, and then the other guys rent.
And every stereotypical thing that you can put in an apartment: studio lighting, a pool table, every refrigerator has like a wine cabinet,
the glass brick wall by the front.
Incredible. And we don't know where. I don't never remember what door they go into in the actual. There's so many swinging doors in it: elevator door, random door, mural door.
Lots of doors, and then don't forget the entire room full of 4x3 televisions and video cassettes.
Oh, yes.
Where he's able to actually play back
1970 Lakers games.
70s Lakers games in slow-mo. Guys, hold on. I'm going to play this in slow-mo.
What else is he doing with those TVs? We'll get into that. Okay, we got a minute and a half to go. So they wake up one morning and there's a baby on their doorstep and they're like, what's that? But Ted Danson's left town and Ted
told
Danson's.
him that there was a package coming and the package is going to be delivered and then kept until about Thursday.
And don't tell anybody because it's a secret. You're like, we figure it's a baby.
Right.
So like, crap, Jackson Turkey, we can't get a hold of him. Let's take care of this baby. Obviously, the Full House kind of dad montage, Uncle Joey, Uncle Jesse, Tom Selleck.
Oh yeah, Full House is a complete ripoff of this film.
Oh, without a doubt. So they go to the store, they whatever, and then they realize that there's people chasing them down for some random heroin that is the actual package that whatever.
Right, because they give the baby to 2 sketchy dudes that they think are coming to pick up the baby, because that makes sense. But those guys are actually heroin dealers.
Baby, yes,
and it's Paul Giafel, Foyle, however you pronounce his name, from CSI.
Correct.
And Beverly Hills Cop 2.
40 seconds. So then now they're in this weird. The cops are following them around because they think they're heroin dealers, along with this commercial director who's Danson's friend, because Ted Danson's a commercial director, actor as well.
Yeah.
Then the cops are chasing him down. They somehow they're playing their angles right. They're like, and they take him to a construction site, and the cops they lock him in an elevator.
They trick the guys into getting caught by the cops, thanks to Ted Danson dressing in drag.
Right. And you think this is going to be the end of the movie?
That should be the end of the movie. It's not.
The mom shows up. She's going to take the baby back, but she can't do it, so they decide they're going to be a happy family, 4 swinging dick bachelors, and the British woman with the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
And 3, 2, 1, in under 3 minutes. That
works.
Work.
All right,
and we did it to the whole Miami Sound Machine. Gloria Estefan, you are friggin' welcome. This is the most PR you've gotten in years. Okay? And the Sound Machine as well. Nobody knows who's in the Sound Machine.
I think it's the guys from Menudo. They just grew up and then
they got mechanical.
Joined into the Sound Machine.
I will say this though, that my mother loved Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine so much, and in our Dodge Caravan we listened to the Miami Sound Machine a lot.
I can't say I had the same.
Thanks, Steven. Yep, you're welcome. They were great years. They were good times in the Macuga household.
Yeah. So, fun fact about this movie.
Go.
Most successful film of 1987.
It only had like an $11 million budget, made $167 million.
Yeah, huge returns. #1 movie of the year. People's Choice Award for Best Family Film. Found that out. Thank you, IMDb. And
I did not know that one.
And we haven't mentioned it yet. It was directed by the late great Leonard Nimoy, hence my shirt on today.
And I know you're a big Star Trek guy.
I'm a big Star Trek guy, and that's actually what reminded me about this movie. I was thinking, we could do a Star Trek movie, but you're not a big Star Trek guy. We'll save. That's a whole nother series.
Wormhole,
So I remembered 3 Men and a Baby.
And as soon as you recommended this, I was like, absolutely, because I love this movie.
It's actually a good movie. And after last week with Howard the Duck, I feel like you needed a palate cleanser. Because
this is the sorbet at the expense of dinner, guys.
Yeah.
Heroin's in the diaper pail.
Play that again, real quick.
Heroin's in the diaper pail.
Yes. So,
but where are the baby wipes?
Baby wipes are in the cabinet.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
That makes sense.
That's a very important plot point. I always like to talk plot holes, kind of a little bit off the bat. Because
and there are a number of them. I mean,
Yes.
it's a good movie. It's an entertaining family film.
Sure.
Definitely a lot of plot holes.
Now here's the first plot hole is one, you never take packages from people that look a lot like Steve Perry.
No.
In the 80s, because he got that mullet. He just didn't have it. He's acting shady and dancing. He's out there. He's checking out chicks because they're at the greatest birthday party in the history of New York.
Great birthday party for it's his late 30s, maybe early 40s birthday
Correct.
party.
And he's an architect, so they make the cake into a building.
Right. Complete with a Barbie doll hanging off.
Yeah.
That was strange.
Which is weird. I also, I might be in the minority here when we talk about it on Between the Sheets, but if I'm throwing a birthday party for my buddies and I get them a cake, I think they'd think that I was going a little too far. Like a cake and a card. Just go to the bar and buy me drinks.
Yeah, but that's partially because you're an alcoholic, but that's also, I think, if you're throwing a party at your house, you need to have a cake, and if
something
it's
to break the monotony of the videotapes with Jerry West.
Yes, and if it's a humorous cake, then it might go over a little bit better.
Scaffolding and a hanging Barbie.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you that.
Yeah. So sketchy dude at the party,
Right,
comes up and says, "I've got this package coming." And I'm going to be out of town, and I need you to take it, and don't tell anybody about it.
Right.
Ted Danson's a little drunk, a little on the prowl.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, sure, no
Whatever.
problem.
And he's the actor, so he's the dumb one of the bunch.
But he knows he's going to Turkey the very next day.
So he doesn't have to
So
worry
he's not
about
even going to be around. So he just leaves a voicemail message.
That actually gets them in sort of trouble with the cop who creepily always wants to hold the baby.
Cops, they finally tell him, they're like, no, stop
trying to hold the baby.
Stop trying to hold the baby.
It's like the middle of they caught these heroin dealers and all these things like, yeah, let me hold that baby.
Yeah.
Let me get in some of that baby.
I need some of that kid.
Now, speaking of the baby, fun fact we learned is that Leonard Nimoy went through over 200 videos of babies before he settled on these babies. Again, out of context, as you said.
Yeah.
Could be weird.
Could be really weird. I mean, there's some strange, there's unknowing PA that is just delivering countless tapes of babies.
We got more Nimoy babies over here.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so the heroin dealers then trash the apartment, and this is the videotape sound clip. This is the one that had me. I was like, wait.
Okay, all right. Well, here's another. Before we get into that, just one quick other major plot point. Movie's called 3 Men and a Baby. It's really 2 men, some H dealers, a baby, and maybe Sam Malone from time to time. He disappears and goes to Turkey and doesn't show up again until an hour into the movie.
Right.
So the first
because they cut his part in Turkey. They flew him all the way to Turkey, but they're like, we don't need you. Get out.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he was spending too much time at the bazaar and maybe screwed the director's wife. Who knows?
Got some H.
Yeah. And so for the first half of the movie,
it's just Selleck and Goot.
It's Selleck and Goot, and they're trying to entertain the baby.
Yes.
Goot is left to his own devices for a little bit.
Can we precede this by Gutenberg's game, if we call it, with the lady the night of the birthday party? Can we play that? I believe that's the dance sound clip.
Yeah.
How to get over a lover?
Yeah.
Dance with a stranger.
That's him doing this. He's doing the Carlton. And the girl looks at him and she's like, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
This ain't happening.
I'm pretty sure
Not to mention the fact that he's a cartoonist and he had just finished talking to her with the puppet of his cartoon
over the shoulder,
doing one of these numbers.
Over the shoulder number,
which
is creepy. This is like the makeout.
Thing.
Yeah, but he's doing with a cartoon cat that he creates, that he writes and pays for his $40 million apartment in New York. So,
So then.
Can you play that clip again one more time? Oh, I'm sorry. This is just amazing.
You know how to get over a lover? Dance with a stranger.
Dance with a stranger. Again, out of context, that could be in a like slasher flick.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Or like, it's like Joker in the first Batman. The Michael Keaton Batman was like, "Do you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like Gutenberg.
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
And the Goot. Come on. I mean, this movie, Leonard Nimoy, if he was which he went through 200 babies, he had to go through a lot of casting process, and
Well, I believe actually he came on after the casting because they cast the film. They cast the film.
Dancing with a Stranger. I'm sorry.
Apparently. They cast the film. This was actually based on a French film called 3 Men in a Cradle. is
French or
Tre Holmes in un cradle. I don't.
You got in German there for a little bit.
Yeah, don't speak French or German. Barely speak English. And so the woman who wrote and directed the original was scheduled to direct this film.
Okay.
They cast it, and the studio wanted it to be a little bit more light.
Yeah.
She was looking for kind of a darker tone. I think Cradle, like
so
hand,
they
hand the
on
rocks
heroin?
the candle. Yeah. So the lighter tone they settled on heroin.
Yeah, instead of the meth or the coke.
But then they gave. So she left, and then Leonard Nimoy came on because he had just directed Star Trek 4, which was his second Star Trek film that he directed, and Star Trek 4 was the most successful one of the franchise. Yeah. Reinvigorated the whole thing, kicked off a TV show,
right?
Next Generation, which was very successful as well. So he came on as the director, and then decided, I need the right baby. Gotta have the right.
We've already got
baby.
the three dads. We've already got the Goot, Mayday, and Magnum.
You don't need any better. I mean, I'm looking at the poster.
Yeah.
I mean, Selleck's got suspenders and a bow tie that's undone.
Do yourself a favor and just look up the movie.
Just look at the poster.
It's so good.
It's you don't not want to see that movie.
No.
And that's actually the tagline.
And
3 Men and a Baby. You don't not want to see this movie.
Usually when guys are dressed like Selleck is dressed like that, like Lumbergh in Office Space, usually they're untrustworthy scumbags.
Right. No, this is before the bow tie equaled the kind of scumbag.
Right.
Yeah.
And talk about scummy kind of things is that Selleck had a video collection that he was very, very proud of.
Yeah.
Okay?
So before
and he's the only one with really a love interest in this whole movie. Is that
he's got
Eliza Minnelli kind of woman?
He has a 5-year relationship, but it's an open relationship, and neither
Been trying
of them
to have one of those for 5 years, guys. It's not going well.
Neither of them want to settle down just yet. Mm-hmm. And I think Selleck is starting to maybe want to settle down, but he's worried. She does not.
Cake and eat it too. His cake with a hanging Barbie.
She thinks that he is not mature enough.
Correct.
Because I really think that this movie. I'm sorry, we're completely off topic.
No,
That's
what this show's about.
I see this. I see this, and also like your Ghostbusters, your Harold Ramis, Bill Murray kind of movies. Very much precursors to the Apatow kind of films, where you've got these man-child,
not as fratty,
not as fratty as the Bill Murray Harold Ramis vibe. This is much more that 80s commercial capitalist, like 80s capitalist vibe, where they all have very successful jobs and they're living in New York and all that kind of thing. But kind of like horrible bosses,
right? Oh yeah, I could see that.
With those three guys that just like don't want to grow up, and then they are thrown into a situation where they have to immediately mature in an instant,
right? Because of the baby.
And now also the heroin dealers trying to kill them, and so that's why they don't have that kind of scummy attitude,
right? And because they're all such like charming dudes. I mean, guys, I have so much chest hair. I would have killed as like the body double for Selleck in this, or Goot, because there's
Goot even brings up the chest hair at some point. He's trying to soothe the baby and doesn't really know what to do.
Giving me a headache. How about this? How about this? Look at this. Look at a hairy chest. Like that? You want one of these?
You want one of these? You want one of these?
I believe I have said that multiple times in the bedroom.
I'm sure you have.
It's a thicket down there. I one time had a girl in Vegas. She was Canadian. She took off my shirt and said, "Oh, you're hairy." So,
yeah.
Oh, you're hairy.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you're Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey part where Gutenberg he's just doing some riffing. He's got hot bits that he's trying on the baby.
Yeah.
Right now, Selleck runs the store and he does something, and then
who does he meet at the store?
Dave Foley
in a one line role, probably one of his first movie roles. He says like, "Oh, the diapers are on the other aisle" or something.
And then he consults with a sassy black woman, of course.
Yes, the enigmatic black woman who gives him all the tips that he needs to immediately learn how to.
He goes to 3 different grocery stores.
Yeah.
So then they have the baby, and then these heroin dealers come to pick him up, and then there's a sequence of that lead to they have the landlord watch the baby.
Yes, the sweet little landlord.
She's a high class New York woman.
She wanted kids, but she couldn't have them because her husband has a cat.
No, had a low sperm count.
Did she say low sperm count? I heard lovesick cat.
Maybe there was a cat in there too. I think you might be right.
She said like we wanted to have kids, but my husband has a lovesick cat. But maybe said we wanted to have kids, but my husband has a low sperm count. Either way, really awkward statement. Not something you should tell your
neighbors,
someone that you are the landlord of.
Because she's a sweetheart. Yeah. She takes the baby. They go out. When they come back, their apartment has been absolutely trashed.
Completely trashed. Like, but in that classic Hollywood, like I had to rewind it.
I mean, the set design on that is incredible.
I mean, they went in and said, okay, this needs to look like it's been trashed. And they trash everything. And this is a huge apartment. There's 20, I mean, it's like the Clue mansion.
We cannot stress enough how cartoonishly large this New York apartment is.
Yeah.
No, I lived in New York, okay, with 4 dudes. There was 4 of us in an apartment.
and it wasn't the size of one of these rooms.
No, not at all. We definitely didn't have anything cool like they had. Okay. But we did have a lot of drugs in that. I'm kidding. So they trashed the apartment, and the poor landlady who's been watching the baby is tied and gagged.
She's bound and gagged on the ground. They undo the mask or whatever out of the gag. The gag.
And they're like, "Where is Mary?
Where's the baby?"
Right. They're searching through the thing, and Goot's screaming her name, coming in, and then Selleck's first thing he says to Gutenberg is,
"That's not a giraffe.
Nope.
That's a dinosaur."
No, he doesn't say that to him.
Which one is it?
The videotapes.
See what those bastards did to my videotapes?
That's it. Not like they just tied up a human being. We may have lost the baby.
Because not only did they trash everything, they ripped every single piece of tape out of every tape he owned. And he had a huge collection. I'm pretty sure every one of those baby tapes they used as a prop.
Yes.
Because it looked like there were 200 tapes, and all the celluloids just hanging off the ceiling.
It looks like they TP'd with the tape in his apartment.
I think it actually was then reused later as a kill room in 7.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Could you play that clip one more time?
See what those bastards did to my videotapes?
You know, strangely enough, in the 7th grade, my buddy Mike Burns, we had a porn tape going around. It was called Loose Ends 2. It was amazing. And his
I think I've seen that one.
Have you seen it? It's good. It's good. And his mom, Mrs. Burns, found it and destroyed it. And first thing I said to her was,
"See what those bastards did to my videotapes?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's rough. You know, it's funny. I actually had a collection of my own growing up. It was a bunch of sports memorabilia tapes, but it wasn't actually the playback clips. It wasn't the slow-mo clips. It was actually just reels of the popcorn guys as they're throwing stuff around. Yeah. And it was a wonderful collection.
Stuff,
well, because I'd bring them to the games and I'd get them signed by the popcorn guys. I was a big fan of popcorn. It's
and you're on the popcorn talk right now.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one time I was at one of these games. It was a very, very big game. It was a playoff game, I think. And the guy threw the popcorn and soda right into my collection, ruined everything. And I just looked at him. I was like,
"See what those bastards did to my videotapes?"
It was really rough.
Well, funny enough, my brother and I collected 1992 Bulls VHS tapes. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, Learning to Fly, some early Michael Jordan stuff. A lot of them had blooper reels on it as well.
Oh,
they all came free with
reel.
your SI subscription every year. And we had a cleaning lady, and she just wasn't very responsible and spilled cleaning fluid everywhere, and not only ruined those, but ruined my Fish bootleg tapes. And I said straight to her face,
"Those bastards did to my videotapes."
Oh, no, that's awful. I know. You know, I just thought of this. My brother actually was big into those VHS board games.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those from the 90s?
Of course.
Yeah, where you pop in the VHS and it tells you where to go. And
it's like the scene it's of today.
Yeah, there was a Community episode about it last year. If you're not familiar with the concept, very, very fun. Horrible games. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them terrible. But we were over at another friend of ours' house, and we were playing the games, and it just, before I knew it, the guy just got really pissed and he threw the board over and crashed it into the television. Everything broke. It was really sucky. But you know what? He actually, come to think of it,
your stories are greatly long-winded.
He was an adopted child.
Oh.
Yeah, he was an adopted child because his parents they had him out of wedlock, and then another friend of ours adopted him and stuff.
Right.
So I looked at my brother and I was like,
Dance with a stranger.
No, damn it, Steven. We gotta lead up to bastards.
Damn it. I was setting you up for the bastards.
God. Weirdly enough, I don't know if you know this, but Alexander Hamilton is a very famous illegitimate child of politician and an ill-refute prostitute. And when he was about to fight Aaron Burr in their famous duel, he would have been doing some scouting work on him and had tons and tons of VHS tapes. But in came Aaron Burr's people and lit them all on fire. And then, and then Alexander Hamilton came in and took all of Aaron Burr's videotapes and threw them right in the Delaware River. And Aaron Burr screamed right before they were about to duel.
See what those bastards did to my videotapes?
Bastard. He's a bastard.
Total bastards. So total bastards. Total bastards.
The passion behind VHS tapes, guys, because listen, everything is digital now, or DVDs. You can fit a lot more. But as a kid, as we were kids, you had so many VHS tapes. You didn't have anywhere to put them because they were such big things.
Yeah. Oh, they're huge. They're huge. Especially if you had the Disney movies with the big plastic packaging.
They had to go and screw us with those giant plastic because they couldn't fit those anywhere. They had their own shelves.
No.
They were much bigger.
Had to be proprietary.
Yeah, and then there was movies like Braveheart and Casino, which were 2 VHSs.
Yeah. My first copy of The Godfather was a double VHS.
Double VHS. Another good one was the 6 VHS of Glory, of North and South.
Oh yeah.
6
I had the 6 VHS of Roots, I think it was,
okay.
or nine VHS or what have you.
And then each season of Friends you could get they were a 10 VHS stack.
Yeah.
For Friends.
10 VHS stack.
10 VHSs, guys.
10 VHSs.
That's huge.
I like the ones
and somehow less expensive than
the box
DVDs.
sets. It was like there were so many tapes that they were able to put one letter on each box. It would like spell out Titanic.
Yes,
but it wasn't the movie Titanic. It was like a 9-part History Channel miniseries.
No. We had the whole Buffy series on VHS, and it was like its entire shelf.
And you can't you can't hide. Sometimes you can hide embarrassing DVDs. You can't hide embarrassing collections of VHS unless you throw them away and tell them.
See what those bastards did to my videotapes?
Yeah. They might not have been fans of Buffy, but Selleck was a fan of everything.
Yeah. Well, moving on, we actually we heard a glimpse of it earlier, but at one point Selleck is running around. I think this is after the incident at the house.
Right. The cops are following him now.
The cops are following him. And he's trying to do his daily routine, and he stops at a little newsstand on the street, and none other than Colin Quinn is a 1-line or 2-line part in this. He's about 90 pounds lighter than I've ever seen him.
He's so passionate about this fact of this thing. Play the giraffe clip.
Yeah.
That's not a giraffe. That's a dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur.
And he's just so passionate. It's like, give me the dinosaur. He's like,
give me the giraffe.
Give me the giraffe.
That's not a giraffe. That's a dinosaur.
I mean, it's so weird because he's
crowd.
like,
it's a tough crowd.
And I see what you did there. Yeah, I see what you did there.
Tough crowd with Colin Quinn. If you guys haven't seen the show, it was an old Comedy Central show. It's not very good.
Yeah. But there's a fun little scene there with Colin Quinn. Did not expect him in there.
You know what's kind of weird is when Toys R Us was first pitching their ideas for they wanted their mascot. They came in with a bunch of drawings of people. And
right.
The first one they showed, the guy just showed a picture of a giraffe.
Yeah.
And this is what the response from everybody in the boardroom was.
That's not a giraffe. That's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I remember correctly, I believe this was the drawing. Was this?
That's not a giraffe. That's a dinosaur.
No, it says I'm a giraffe right here.
I'm a giraffe.
That's not a giraffe. That's a dinosaur.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry, man. That happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I was a kid, we loved the San Diego Zoo. We used to go all the time, and I thought there were going to be dinosaurs, but in fact they're just giraffes there. So it's a total flip.
It's complete. It's a complete flip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fair enough. No, there are no dinosaurs at the San Diego Zoo.
No, guys, I was a very gullible child and kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
Still continuing that theme to this day.
Yeah.
And then
we did forget one great moment. So the cops get involved.
Yes.
And first there's a mounted police officer on a horse who looks like he brings the horse into the lobby.
Yeah.
And then later the landlady mentions your horse shit in the lobby.
He's like, I don't own a horse. You obviously know I have a 3-bedroom loft up here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 22-bedroom loft.
Not my horse.
We can't put the horse anywhere.
So then another cop wants to go upstairs and look at Tom Selleck's ID because he wasn't going to show it to him because he actually had the heroin in his pocket.
Right.
And so he went back upstairs, gives it to Gutenberg to hide. Gutenberg pulls out his X-Acto knife, cuts the diaper open, and hides the bags of heroin in the diaper.
Again.
And then puts the diaper on to the child. pretty sure that's not
Okay, I'm just gonna
not a good parenting.
There are a
tip.
couple little problems with this. One, how all of a sudden did Gutenberg become the George Young of this apartment, where he just like, I know where to hide heroin, get an X-Acto knife, and perfectly cut open a diaper?
He is a cartoonist, so he has those tools.
Okay,
So
and then,
I get.
And there was that Johnny the Cat episode where he was addicted to heroin. So
yeah, that was a whole plot line, like over a few different strips throughout the syndicated
I remember
comic.
that.
Yeah,
Those were some dark times for Johnny the Cat.
Right.
And then you put the baby, you put the diaper back on the baby. What if there's just one of those packets opens up and the baby has heroin in their body?
Yeah, I mean that's terrible. Well, and did you notice the full frontal nudity in this film?
A ton of it on the baby.
Yeah,
well, that's why that cop wanted to keep holding the baby.
Yeah. I mean they're cleaning the baby off, and I mean you don't see that in movies these days.
No,
you don't see baby nudity.
In some movies, you don't even see a real baby. American Sniper.
That was so terrible.
That was awful. And then we get, so here's the part. Now Danson comes home because his part got cut off in
he does
Turkey.
finally come home about an hour into the movie.
Yeah. He doesn't know they have a baby. They're like, hey, Danson, this is your baby, you stupid idiot. He's like, oh yeah, Sylvia, she was the shrew and I tamed her, whatever, some kind of play on words.
Right.
And now Gutenberg and Selleck are like, F off, Danson. Okay, you can't, we had to do this. You're the asshole. We're just going to go over here and play pool.
We're going to play pool. And then Danson's
over his head. He's in over his head.
Yeah, and then so then Danson calls out for help, and this is what happens.
Remember, there's $250,000 in heroin in that diaper pail.
And the new baby wipes are in the cabinet.
Right. Heroin's in the diaper pail. Baby wipes are in the cabinet.
Just the wrong one.
Yeah, but that's okay because that's also
because it leads into this next one.
It leads into the next one when he's trying to put together the kid.
I've had enough of this doo-doo.
No, we have.
Okay,
Tell me which one you want.
It's the
What's it called? What's the
I
name
forget
of
what it was called.
I got Figure It Out.
Yeah, Figure It Out.
Sorry, Figure It
That's the
Out.
one.
My
That's the
favorite
one.
Nickelodeon
Sorry.
game show.
Hey, how do you put on these goddamn things anyway?
Figure it out for yourself, dickhead.
Yeah. That's Selleck at his prime, where he's Selleck.
Yeah.
He's had enough.
And then he
of
followed
dancing.
it up with the previous clip that Steve just played for us, which was
Remember, there's $250,000 in heroin in that diaper pail.
And the new baby wipes are in the cabinet.
Right. Heroin's in the diaper pail. Baby wipes are in the cabinet.
And
Where else would they be?
just totally unfeathered or whatever you want to say. Dancing just like heroin.
yeah, heroin's there, baby wipes there, got it.
Because when the baby
Good.
first arrived, Selleck and Gutenberg are freaking out. Danson's like, I'll just whatever. And then when he asks for some help, this is the response he gets.
Hey, how do you put on these goddamn things anyway?
Figure it out for yourself, dickhead.
And then what you don't hear in this clip is right after that he then hits the pool cue.
And
Like
then
he's-
Gutenberg says, "Nice shot."
Oh, does
Yeah.
it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
missed that.
It's a real nice transition.
Yeah.
Kind of weirdly enough though, the first time I ever had sex, it was at a spring break party, and I didn't know how to put a condom on, so I just screamed out loud.
Figure it out for yourself, dickhead.
Well, the beginning part of that.
Hey, how do you put on these goddamn things anyway?
Figure it out for yourself, dickhead.
Selleck was also on.
Oh,
spring break.
was he
Yeah.
at spring break with you?
Yeah.
That's really
It was-
weird.
it was
That's
cool,
really weird.
right?
Yeah. So mention the Nickelodeon show Figure It Out.
Oh, it's a great one, yeah.
Yeah. The original working title, it was actually a French film. And the director of the French film took it in a very darker way.
Yeah, it took a turn.
Yeah. And so the original title of the film was actually
Hey, how do you put on these goddamn things anyway?
Figure it out, dickhead would be
Figure it out for yourself, dickhead.
There you go.
I think he's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, you're just fucking with us now,
It's just,
Steven.
I think this is purely mercenary.
Now, the best sound clip that we do have is it's very quick, and I think if you want to set it up, the silly bitch.
Oh yes, yeah. So they finish the heroin deal. You think it would be the end of the movie. They frame the guys. Ted Danson wears drag.
Yeah.
Hidden.
He's an actor.
He's an actor. Hides the baby under his trench coat or dress or whatever.
Yep.
To
Again, creepy.
get away from the cops.
Right.
And then they call the cops. The cops show up. They dismantle the heroin operation.
Yeah.
Enter music montage number 2.
Yes.
Which I believe is set to Peter Cetera's Daddy's Girl.
Correct. That is correct.
Great song.
Awesome song.
Great song.
Yeah.
And so now we get to see the 3 men and a baby all doing their fun things. And Ted Danson is back at acting.
Right.
I think he's doing the play that Tom Selleck wanted him to do at the beginning of the movie.
It's a great play.
Great play.
Great reviews.
And so here's one of the lines from that play.
I'll tell you where I'll be, you silly bitch.
And then he turns around and you realize he's got a Baby Bjorn on that's like part of his costume.
Yes.
And that's how he's like
able to rehearse.
He's
with
doing the
baby.
rehearsals with the child.
Yes. And now she's a very well-behaved child, but I don't think she should be hearing such language. Although I do know that I dog sit from time to time, and sometimes the female dogs just get a little out of control, and I have to say,
Silly bitch.
yeah,
Silly bitch.
Yeah.
Silly bitch.
Silly bitch.
And this is a totally different story, but I went to a taping of the Rosie O'Donnell show way back in the day.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
I know. And she was
Did you get a
shooting those scoosh balls.
Did you get a koosh ball?
She's shooting those scoosh balls, and it hit my mom right in the eye, and my mom screamed out, "Hey, don't!"
Silly bitch.
Correct.
Silly bitch.
All right.
That's so weird. Yeah. I got nothing on the silly bitch line. I got nothing on the silly bitch line. But if I tell a story that goes really long-winded, something tells me Steve will then play a clip like this.
Figure it out for yourself,
Silly
dickhead.
bitch.
Now there's the remix.
Yeah.
I always thought that if I was a DJ, which I have a passionate disdain for DJs.
Yes, you do.
If I was a DJ, I would take normal music and then insert movie lines into.
Oh, every
Silly bitch.
You make me feel so good.
You make me feel so good. Oh, you make me feel so good.
Throw in the dickhead.
Silly bitch.
You make me feel so good.
See, this is amazing.
Every mixed CD I ever made for a girl, always included movie lines like mixed into the ends of the tracks.
Perfect.
That was how I like mixed the songs between one another. I would go to AOL Sounds and download the movie clips, and so you'd hear like Pulp Fiction just like in between.
You kids have it easy
Paul
these days.
Simon and
you kids have it easy these days. We had VHS tapes. Those bastards could have done anything to those VHS tapes.
Those bastards.
There was no recovering.
Those silly bitch bastards.
Into my videotapes.
We had to actually we had to do things that now you guys can just do via YouTubes. All the kids.
All the YouTubes. I mean, that's how we got all these clips.
I know.
If this was airing as a podcast in 1998,
yes,
it would probably not be on the internet.
Correct.
Yeah, but it would have taken us 6 weeks to download all those clips on our 14.4 modem.
Yeah, and then Steven couldn't have fucked with us by playing clips that are totally out of character.
No, I actually had this movie on VHS.
I left the window open for you, and you didn't take it.
I had this movie on VHS, but someone ripped it apart. And
Silly bitch.
There we go.
Yeah.
Dude, this was fun.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Talk to me.
Real fast. The end of the movie, you think the heroin deal is the end of the movie. It's not. The mom comes back. She wants the baby. The mom is played by Nancy Travers.
Yeah.
With
Man Standing.
with a pretty awful British accent, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, not the best.
She's got a great perm, though.
Oh, it's amazing. Looks a lot like Jesse Spano in Showgirls' perm.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. You mentioned Last Man Standing. Before Last Man Standing, she was in Becker with Ted Danson. They reteamed them as the love interest on Becker like 10 years later.
That's the gift that keeps on giving, guys.
Yeah.
To 3 Men and a Baby, it produced a whole lot of love, $167 million, a Leonard Nimoy classic, and great lines like this. Let's see what Stephen has picked up for it.
That's not a giraffe. That's a dinosaur.
Correct.
Thank you, Colin Quinn.
If you could play us out on the Bad Bad Boys song as we do our outro here. I'm Josh Macuga. You can follow me on Twitter at Josh Macuga.
I'm Thadd Williams. You can follow me at Ben Begley Comedy.
You can see my show, Between the Sheets, that Thadd directs, produces, and edits every Monday on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/betweenthe-sheets.
And this Monday I'll be on the show because I'm asking you questions.
Correct. This upcoming Monday is the me episode. You guys got us to 10,000 subscribers on my birthday, so finally this episode will air. Our brand new sexy set is in full effect. Thank you guys as always for watching. We don't know what we're going to do next week, but seriously, thanks for coming in.
It was a lot of fun. I was glad to be here.
Good.
Yeah.
And until next time, what is your guilty movie pleasure?
Figure it out for yourself, dickhead.
Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network. We would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.